40 below zero, that is what your thermometer could read this weekend in parts of Vermont. Not the wind chill, the actual temperature. And if you think that is shocking, wait until you hear what is heading toward Boston, New York, Philadelphia, and 70 other major cities across America in the next 7 days. Right now, something extraordinary is unfolding in our atmosphere. The polar vortex, that massive spinning column of Arctic air that normally stays locked over the North Pole, has completely fractured. Scientists are calling this a stratospheric warming event, and what it means for you is simple. The coldest air on planet Earth is now headed straight toward the eastern United States. We are not talking about a typical winter cold snap. We are talking about temperatures that have not been seen in some regions since the 1980s. But here's what nobody else is telling you. This is not just one Arctic blast. Multiple waves of bone-chilling cold are stacking up like dominoes from Canada, and each one will be colder than the last. The peak hits between February 7th and February 10th, with some areas facing wind chills of -40 to -50 degrees. That is cold enough to cause frostbite in less than 5 minutes. Stay with me through this forecast because at the 3-minute 20-second mark, I will reveal the exact hour the most dangerous cold arrives in your specific city. And if you make it to the 5-minute mark, I will show you something meteorologists discovered just this morning that could change everything about how the second half of February unfolds. Before we dive into city-by-city forecasts, you need to understand what is happening right now. A massive winter storm just dumped historic snow across the Carolinas. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina saw 6 inches. Charlotte, North Carolina recorded 12 inches. These are cities that normally see snow once every few years, if that, but this storm was just the opening act. The National Weather Service has issued extreme cold warnings for over 200 million Americans. Let me put that in perspective. That is more people under extreme cold alerts than live in the entire country of Brazil. Wind chill warnings stretch from Montana to Maine, from Minnesota to Maryland. This is the most widespread cold weather alert in modern forecasting history. Here is what makes this event so dangerous. The polar vortex split into 2 separate circulation centers. One is sitting over Greenland. The other is diving straight down through Canada toward the Great Lakes. When this happens, there is no natural barrier to keep Arctic air locked up north. It just pours south like water from a broken dam. Now, I promised you would know exactly when this hits your city. So let me break this down by region, and I want you to comment below with your city name so I can give you even more specific details for your exact location. Let us start in the Northeast, because this is ground zero for the most extreme cold. Burlington, Vermont, you are looking at actual air temperatures dropping to -15 degrees Friday night. But the wind chill, -42 degrees. That happens between 8 p.m. Friday and 10 a.m. Saturday. This is not just cold, this is life-threatening. Portland, Maine, your coldest moment arrives Saturday morning at 6 a.m. Actual temperature, -8 degrees. Wind chill, -35 degrees. These conditions persist through Sunday afternoon. Boston, Massachusetts, here is your timeline. Friday night at 11 p.m., temperatures crash to 5 degrees. By Saturday morning at 7 a.m., wind chills hit -28 degrees. Sunday morning brings the coldest air, with wind chills bottoming out at -32 degrees around 5 a.m. The Massachusetts Bay freezes solid in these conditions. I have not seen forecast numbers this low for Boston since January of 1984. Providence, Rhode Island, you are on the same timeline as Boston, just slightly less severe. Expect -25-degree wind chills Saturday and Sunday morning. Hartford, Connecticut, Friday night temperatures drop to 3 degrees. Saturday morning wind chills reach -30 degrees. This is dangerous cold, folks. If you have to go outside, you need to cover every inch of exposed skin. Albany, New York, you are in for brutal conditions. Actual temperature. Friday night, -12 degrees. Wind chill Saturday morning, -38 degrees. The Arctic air settles in and does not budge until Tuesday. New York City, your timeline is critical. The Arctic front blasts through Friday evening at 7 p.m. By midnight, temperatures crash from 32 degrees to 12 degrees in just 5 hours. Saturday morning at 6 a.m., wind chills hit -18 degrees. But here is the twist for New York. Gusty winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour on Saturday make this feel even colder. Those winds create what meteorologists call convective cooling, where the wind constantly replaces any warm air your body tries to generate. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Friday night at 9 p.m., that is when your temperatures nosedive. By Saturday morning, actual temperature drops to 8 degrees with wind chills of minus 22 degrees. Sunday morning is worse, minus 25-degree wind chills. Trenton, New Jersey, you are right in line with Philadelphia. Expect the same timeline and similar numbers. Baltimore, Maryland, the cold hits Friday night at 10 p.m. Saturday morning brings 9-degree temperatures with minus 20-degree wind chills. This is the coldest air Baltimore has seen in over a decade. Washington, D.C., listen carefully. The Arctic front arrives Friday at 8 p.m. By Saturday morning at 7 a.m., temperatures drop to 11 degrees with wind chills of minus 18 degrees. But here is something specific to the D.C. area. The Potomac River will see ice forming rapidly Saturday morning, and by Sunday, we could see ice jams forming near Great Falls. Sunday morning at 6 a.m. brings the coldest conditions. 6 degrees with minus 23-degree wind chills. Richmond, Virginia, you are on the southern edge of the extreme cold, but do not let that fool you. Friday night at 11 p.m., temperatures crash to 14 degrees. Saturday morning, wind chills hit minus 15 degrees. This is the coldest air Richmond has experienced since the polar vortex of 2014. Now let me shift to the Mid-Atlantic and Ohio Valley, because you are getting hammered with snow before the cold arrives. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, heavy wet snow is falling right now as I record this. You will pick up another 4 to 6 inches through Wednesday morning. Then Thursday brings a clipper system with another 2 to 4 inches. Behind that, Friday night the Arctic blast arrives. Saturday morning, 2 degrees actual temperature. Wind chill, minus 28 degrees. The snow on the ground will not melt until mid-February. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, same snow timeline as Pittsburgh. The Arctic cold arrives Friday night at 9 p.m. Saturday morning wind chills, minus 26 degrees. Scranton, Pennsylvania, you are in the heaviest snow band right now. By Wednesday morning, total accumulations reach 8 to 12 inches. The Poconos could see 16 inches. Then Friday night brings the deep freeze, minus 5 degrees actual temperature, minus 35-degree wind chills Saturday morning. State College, Pennsylvania, Penn State area, you are looking at 10 to 14 inches of snow by Wednesday, then the coldest conditions arrive Saturday morning with minus 30-degree wind chills. Buffalo, New York, lake effect snow is about to explode. The Arctic air screaming across Lake Erie Friday night and Saturday generates snow bands with snowfall rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour. Total accumulation Saturday through Monday, 18 to 30 inches in the heaviest bands south of the city. Actual temperatures, Saturday morning, minus 2 degrees. Wind chills, minus 35 degrees. Rochester, New York, similar story. Lake effect snow buries areas south and east of the city. Expect 12 to 24 inches. Wind chills Saturday morning drop to minus 32 degrees. Syracuse, New York, you are positioned for significant lake effect snow from both Lake Erie and Lake Oneida. 20 to 36 inches possible in the heaviest bands. Wind chills Saturday morning, minus 30 degrees. Cleveland, Ohio, lake effect snow off Lake Erie begins Friday evening and continues through Sunday. Snowfall totals 10 to 18 inches. Friday night at 10 p.m., the Arctic air arrives. Saturday morning, 0 degrees actual temperature. Wind chills, minus 28 degrees. Columbus, Ohio, you are dealing with snow tonight and Wednesday from the current system. Another 2 to 4 inches. Then Thursday night brings more snow. Friday night, the freeze hits. Saturday morning temperature of 6 degrees with minus 20-degree wind chills. Cincinnati, Ohio, heavy wet snow continues tonight. By Wednesday morning, 4 to 8 inches total. Then the cold. Friday night crashes to 8 degrees. Saturday morning wind chills hit minus 18 degrees. Charleston, West Virginia, you are in an interesting position. Heavy snow continues through Wednesday with 6 to 10 inches total. Then another storm Thursday adds 4 to 8 more inches. By the weekend, you could have over a foot of snow on the ground with Saturday morning wind chills of minus 22 degrees. Now let me address the Midwest, because this is where some of the coldest air in the entire country sets up. Chicago, Illinois, Friday afternoon at 3 p.m., that is when the Arctic front crosses Lake Michigan. By Friday night at 8 p.m., temperatures plummet from 28 degrees to 5 degrees. Saturday morning at 6 a.m., minus 10 degrees actual temperature. Wind chills, minus 38 degrees. This is the coldest air Chicago has seen since the polar vortex of 2019. Sunday morning is even worse with wind chills hitting minus 42 degrees. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, same timeline as Chicago, but slightly colder. Saturday morning, minus 12 degrees actual temperature, minus 40-degree wind chills. Madison, Wisconsin, minus 15 degrees Saturday morning with minus 43-degree wind chills. This ties records from 1985. Minneapolis, Minnesota, you are already cold, but this takes it to another level. Friday night, minus 22 degrees. Saturday morning, wind chills, minus 48 degrees. Sunday morning, minus 50-degree wind chills possible in outlying areas. This is dangerous, life-threatening cold. Des Moines, Iowa, Friday evening the bottom falls out. By Saturday morning, minus 8 degrees with minus 35-degree wind chills. Omaha, Nebraska, Friday night, minus 5 degrees. Saturday morning wind chills, minus 32 degrees. Kansas City, Missouri, you are on the southern edge. Friday night temperatures drop to 8 degrees with Saturday morning wind chills of minus 15 degrees. St. Louis, Missouri, Friday night brings 12-degree temperatures. Saturday morning wind chills minus 12 degrees. This is the coldest air St. Louis has experienced since 2014. Indianapolis, Indiana, you have snow falling now through Wednesday, 4 to 6 inches total. Then Friday night, the Arctic air arrives. Saturday morning temperature of 4 degrees with minus 20-degree wind chills. Detroit, Michigan, lake effect snow begins Friday afternoon off Lake Huron and Lake St. Clair, 6 to 12 inches through Saturday. Friday night temperatures crash to minus 4 degrees. Saturday morning wind chills, minus 35 degrees. Grand Rapids, Michigan, heavy lake effect snow, Friday through Sunday, 15 to 25 inches possible. Wind chills Saturday morning, minus 38 degrees. Now let us talk about the south because this is where things get really unusual. The Arctic air is diving further south than forecast models showed just 48 hours ago. Louisville, Kentucky, snow tonight through Wednesday adds 3 to 6 inches. Friday night temperatures drop to 9 degrees. Saturday morning wind chills, minus 15 degrees. Nashville, Tennessee, you are dealing with heavy rain tonight that could transition to sleet early Wednesday. Then Friday night brings the coldest air Nashville has seen in 12 years, 14 degrees with Saturday morning wind chills of minus 8 degrees. Memphis, Tennessee, Friday night crashes to 16 degrees. Saturday morning wind chills, minus 6 degrees. Atlanta, Georgia, this is remarkable. Friday night temperatures drop to 18 degrees. Saturday morning, 14 degrees with wind chills near zero. Sunday morning brings the coldest air, 12 degrees with minus 4-degree wind chills. This is the longest duration of sub-freezing temperatures Atlanta has experienced since the ice storm of 2014. Charlotte, North Carolina, you just got buried with 12 inches of snow, and that snow is not melting anytime soon. Friday night, temperatures drop to 12 degrees. Saturday and Sunday morning wind chills, minus 10 to minus 12 degrees. With a foot of snow on the ground and these temperatures, we are looking at a frozen landscape for at least 10 days. Raleigh, North Carolina, 8 inches of snow on the ground from the weekend storm. Friday night, 16 degrees. Saturday morning wind chills, minus 8 degrees. Greensboro, North Carolina, 10 inches of snow on the ground. Friday night, 13 degrees. Saturday and Sunday morning wind chills, minus 10 degrees. Jacksonville, Florida, and this is going to sound insane. Saturday morning, low temperature of 28 degrees. Sunday morning, 25 degrees. These are temperatures Jacksonville typically sees once every 5 to 7 years. Freeze warnings are posted. Tampa, Florida, Saturday morning, 34 degrees. Sunday morning, 32 degrees. This ties the coldest temperatures Tampa has seen since 2010. Miami, Florida, even South Florida feels this. Saturday morning lows drop to 52 degrees. This is not life-threatening cold, but it is 15 degrees below normal, and sensitive plants need protection. Now, let me address the western United States because while the east freezes, the west is dealing with something completely different. Seattle, Washington, a storm system arrives Saturday bringing 1 to 3 inches of rain at sea level. In the Cascades above 3,000 feet elevation, this is heavy snow. Stevens Pass, Snoqualmie Pass, 20 to 30 inches through Sunday. Portland, Oregon, rain Saturday and Sunday with 1 to 2 inches total. Higher elevations of the Coast Range and Cascades see 8 to 16 inches of snow. Boise, Idaho, this storm brings snow Saturday night through Monday morning. Valley locations, 4 to 8 inches. Mountains, 12 to 24 inches. Salt Lake City, Utah, Sunday into Monday brings snow to the valleys, 3 to 7 inches likely. Cottonwood Canyons could see 12 to 18 inches. Great news for skiers. Denver, Colorado, you remain quiet this week. High pressure dominates with sunny skies and temperatures in the 40s. But next week, that pattern changes dramatically. I will get to that in a moment. Phoenix, Arizona, sunny and mild. High temperatures in the upper 60s. Las Vegas, Nevada, sunny with highs in the low 60s. Los Angeles, California, mostly sunny. High temperatures near 70 degrees. The extreme temperature contrast between Los Angeles and New York City on Saturday is remarkable. 70 degrees versus 12 degrees. That is a 58-degree difference between two of America's largest cities. San Francisco, California, partly cloudy with highs in the upper 50s. Coastal areas see some drizzle Saturday. San Diego, California, sunny and pleasant. High temperatures near 68 degrees. Now here is what I promised you at the 5-minute mark. Meteorologists discovered something critical this morning. The pattern that brings this extreme cold, it is not temporary. Computer forecast models show the polar vortex remaining disrupted through at least February 20th. What this means is after a brief 2 to 3 day warm-up around February 11th through 13th, another surge of Arctic air could arrive around February 15th through 18th. But here is the twist, and this is important. That second cold wave sets up a major winter storm for the mid-Atlantic and Northeast around February 12th through 15th. This storm has the potential to be significant. We are talking about potential snowfall totals of 8 to 16 inches from Washington, D.C. through Boston. The exact track is still uncertain, but the ingredients are coming together. Cold air will be in place. Energy from the Pacific will phase with the polar jet stream. This creates what meteorologists call a Miller A-type storm, and these are the storms that produce historic snowfall for the I-95 corridor. I cannot give you exact snowfall totals for that storm yet because we are still 10 days out, but I wanted you to know it is on the radar. If you live anywhere from Virginia through Maine, you need to pay close attention to forecasts next week.
Now let me talk about what happens after mid-February, because this gets interesting. The European weather model and the American GFS model are in remarkable agreement. They both show a pattern shift around February 16th. The deep trough of low pressure currently over the western United States begins to shift eastward. This means two things. First, the western United States finally gets colder and snowier. Second, the eastern United States moderates slightly but remains prone to winter storms. For cities like Denver, Salt Lake City, Boise, this means the active winter storm pattern you saw in December and January returns. Long-range models suggest above normal snowfall for the Rockies from February 16th through early March. If you are a skier, this is great news. Late February could bring several feet of new snow to Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. For the eastern United States, the pattern shift means warmer air tries to build north from the Gulf of Mexico, while cold air remains anchored over eastern Canada. This is classic setup for major coastal storms. February is historically the snowiest month for many eastern cities, including Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York. The pattern evolution we are seeing favors that historical tendency to verify this year. Here are some specific long-range probabilities. Washington, D.C. 50% chance of at least one snowfall of 6 inches or more between February 12th and February 28th. New York City, 45% chance of the same. Boston, 60% chance because nor'easters can tap into both Great Lakes moisture and Atlantic moisture. The Southern Plains and Lower Mississippi Valley face a different threat. The clash between Arctic air and Gulf of Mexico warmth sets up potential severe weather. Cities like Dallas, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, Memphis, Birmingham, and Atlanta need to watch for severe thunderstorms February 12th through 18th. Some of these storms could produce tornadoes. February tornado outbreaks are not common, but when they happen, they can be significant because the jet stream is still very strong this time of year. Now let me give you the extended outlook city by city for February 9th through February 16th because this is when most areas finally moderate. Boston, Monday. February 9th, temperatures climb to 38 degrees. Tuesday reaches 42 degrees. Wednesday hits 45 degrees. This is the warm-up. But Friday, February 13th, temperatures crash again as the next storm approaches. That storm brings the potential for heavy snow. Friday night through Sunday, February 15th. New York City. Similar warm-up. Monday reaches 40 degrees, Tuesday 44 degrees, Wednesday 48 degrees. Then Friday the pattern flips. Snow potentially arrives Friday night. Philadelphia, Monday climbs to 43 degrees, Tuesday reaches 47 degrees. Wednesday makes it to 50 degrees. Then Friday night the next system arrives. Washington, D.C. This is where it gets interesting. Monday hits 48 degrees. Tuesday reaches 54 degrees. Wednesday could touch 58 degrees. This is the warmest air Washington, D.C. will see until late March. Then Friday night, temperatures crash and snow potentially develops. This is the classic setup for a major D.C. snowstorm. Very warm air ahead of the system, cold air crashing in behind, and heavy precipitation. Chicago. Monday climbs to 35 degrees. Tuesday reaches 40 degrees. Wednesday hits 43 degrees, but you stay snowier than the East Coast. Lake effect continues on and off through mid-February. Minneapolis. Monday gets to 30 degrees. Tuesday reaches 34 degrees. Wednesday climbs to 38 degrees. This is the warm-up, but you are still well below normal for mid-February. Atlanta. Monday reaches 62 degrees. Tuesday climbs to 68 degrees. Wednesday could hit 72 degrees. This is more typical February weather for Atlanta. But remember, the warm-up lasts only 3 to 4 days before cooler air returns. Now let me address safety because these temperatures are dangerous. Frostbite can occur on exposed skin in less than 10 minutes when wind chills drop below minus 30 degrees. Areas seeing minus 40-degree wind chills, frostbite in 5 minutes or less. Here is what you need to do. Layer your clothing. The base layer should be moisture-wicking material, not cotton. Cotton retains moisture and will make you colder. Middle layer should be insulating like fleece or wool. Outer layer should be windproof and waterproof. Cover all exposed skin. Wear a hat because you lose tremendous body heat through your head. Wear gloves or mittens. Mittens are warmer than gloves because your fingers share heat. Wear a scarf or face mask to protect your face and pre-warm the air you breathe. Limit outdoor time. If you must be outside, take frequent breaks to warm up. Watch for signs of frostbite, numbness, white or grayish skin, unusually firm or waxy feeling skin. If you see these signs, get inside immediately and seek medical attention. Watch for signs of hypothermia, shivering, exhaustion, confusion, fumbling hands, memory loss, slurred speech. Hypothermia is a medical emergency. Call 911 immediately. Check on elderly neighbors and relatives. The elderly are more susceptible to cold weather health issues. Make sure they have adequate heat and supplies. Keep pets indoors. If it is too cold for you, it is too cold for your pets. Dogs and cats can get frostbite too, especially on their paws, ears, and tails. Protect your pipes. Let faucets drip slightly to prevent pipes from freezing. Open cabinet doors under sinks to allow warm air to circulate around pipes. If you have pipes in an unheated garage or crawl space, consider using pipe insulation or heat tape. Keep your gas tank at least half full. This prevents your fuel line from freezing and ensures you can run your car for warmth if you get stranded. Have an emergency kit in your car. Blankets, flashlight, batteries, first aid kit, bottled water, non-perishable snacks, phone charger, ice scraper, small shovel, sand, or cat litter for traction. Never use a generator, grill, or camp stove indoors. These produce carbon monoxide, which is deadly. Only use generators outside, at least 20 feet from windows and doors. Check your heating system. Make sure your furnace is working properly. Change filters, have a backup heating source if possible, but never use your oven or stove to heat your home. Stock up on supplies now. Grocery stores will be busy as the cold approaches. Get what you need today. Food, water, medications, pet supplies, batteries, flashlights. Now let me show you something fascinating about why this pattern is so persistent. The stratospheric polar vortex typically recovers from a disruption in 4 to 6 weeks. This event started in mid-January, which means the vortex could remain disrupted through late February or early March. Every time the stratosphere warms, it sends another pulse of cold air southward. We have already seen 3 pulses. The 4th arrives this weekend. The 5th could arrive around February 15th. The 6th might come around late February. This is why I am telling you, winter is far from over. In fact, for many areas, the coldest weather is still ahead. Historical analogs to this pattern include February 1979, February 1985, and February 2015. All of those years featured extreme cold in February, followed by significant March snowstorms. For the snow lovers, this is great news. For everyone else, it means patience. Spring will arrive, but not until late March or early April. Here are snowfall probabilities for major cities through March 20th, the spring equinox. These are probabilities of seeing at least 6 more inches of snow beyond what has already fallen. Boston, 95%. You will definitely see more significant snow. New York City, 85%. Multiple snow events likely. Philadelphia, 80%. Same situation as New York. Washington, D.C., 75%. The storm around February 13th could deliver this alone. Chicago, 90%. Lake effect continues through March. Minneapolis, 98%. You are guaranteed more heavy snow. Detroit, 88%. Lake effect persists. Cleveland, 90%. Multiple lake effect events likely. Denver, 70%. The pattern flip around February 16th brings snow back.
Now, I want to address something important. Some of you are asking if climate change makes these events more or less likely. The science is complex. Arctic amplification, where the Arctic warms faster than mid-latitudes, can weaken the jet stream. A weaker jet stream becomes wavier, allowing cold air to plunge further south than it used to. So paradoxically, a warming Arctic can lead to more frequent extreme cold outbreaks in the mid-latitudes. This does not mean climate change is not happening. It means the effects are complicated and not always intuitive. What we know for certain is this: the stratospheric polar vortex disruption this year is one of the strongest in the satellite era. The cold air being released is among the coldest on the planet, and the persistence of this pattern is unusual even by historical standards. Before I wrap up, let me give you one more critical piece of information. The National Weather Service will be issuing extreme cold warnings for much of the Northeast and Midwest Friday afternoon. These warnings mean dangerous, life-threatening cold. Take them seriously. They are not issued lightly. Winter storm watches will likely be posted for the Great Lakes Thursday for the lake effect snow event. Winter weather advisories remain in effect tonight across the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic for the current snow event. Looking further ahead, there is a possibility that cold weather advisories or extreme cold warnings could be needed again around February 15th through 18th, depending on how the pattern evolves. I will be updating the forecast every single day. The situation around February 12th through 15th is particularly uncertain regarding that potential major coastal storm. Models will come into better agreement by this weekend, and I will have a detailed forecast for you early next week. Make sure you comment below with your city name. I read every single comment, and I try to respond with specific details for your location. The more specific your question, the better answer I can give you. Are you worried about your commute Friday? Tell me what time you drive and where. Concerned about pipes freezing? Let me know what part of the country you are in, and I will give you specific guidance. Also, share this forecast with anyone who needs to see it. This is life-threatening weather for millions of people. The more people who are prepared, the better. Here is your 7-day summary for major regions. Northeast, heavy snow tonight and Wednesday. Clipper system Thursday. Arctic blast Friday night. Extreme cold Saturday through Monday. Temperatures moderate Tuesday and Wednesday. Next storm possible Thursday or Friday. Mid-Atlantic, snow tonight and Wednesday. Cold Friday night. Very cold Saturday through Monday. Warm up Tuesday and Wednesday. Next storm possible Friday. Midwest, extreme cold Friday through Monday. Lake effect snow continues. Brief warm-up Tuesday and Wednesday. Cold returns late next week. South. Cold Friday night and Saturday. Freezing temperatures possible as far south as Central Florida. Warm-up begins Monday. West. Storm this weekend brings rain and mountain snow. Quiet pattern continues through mid-month, then turning more active. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay prepared. The next 10 days will challenge many of you with cold you have not experienced in years, but we will get through it together. Check back tomorrow for updates as the forecast continues to evolve. And remember, if your city gets hit hard by this cold or snow, I want to see your photos. Comment below with your location and your experience. We are all in this together, and sharing information helps everyone stay safe. This is the most significant winter weather pattern of the season so far, and it is not over yet. February has a lot